check it out, guys. Today, Tyler and I recorded 2 episodes. Actually, we recorded 1 episode, and then something happened with the QuickTime player when it imported, and we lost the episode. Had a little heart attack, and then we recorded another episode, or re-recorded, and I tell you what, that episode was. We thought. Let me adjust lighting real quick. Thought wasn't going to be all that great. Or it's bright light. Or thought it's the second time that we've had something that we've lost. We lost our first Rudis review and whatnot, and we recorded again, and turned out the episode was really good. Enjoyed it a lot. Had a great time. Still had a lot of energy. Talked about a lot of different things, and whatever happened, I don't know. Lost it again. Go figure. Ran a lot of tests tonight, checking it all out, and everything seemed to be working. But on the positive side, I guess there is a positive side. Unfortunately, we didn't get our stuff recorded. I've created a few fail-safes. So our fail-safes, you don't need to know about all of the fail-safes, but I've got a few other recording things. But one of the things that we've decided that we will probably start doing when we get together to record is I do believe we're going to start recording our broadcasting live from our door's not open. Gonna broadcast live from our Cerebrus Facebook page, so we'll get a little bit of live video action going as well. So adding another element. So through diversity, through having problems, coming up with good ideas, gonna have a little bit of live feed going and some things going on like that. But I guess just since we talked about it so much, I'll just do a super quick recap over things that we talked about twice today. We did talk about the our matches that we talked about with the other day with conference tournaments. We talked about the SoCon tournament, brought up again. Talked about 5 guys going. We got 4 guys going. Campbell's taking 6 out of there. We talked about Big Tens. It's pretty much in depth. We both, I'll quickly run down. We both had Lee winning at 125. Obviously, Riviera won, not without some controversy. I think Lee is looking good, back to form. I picked Suriano. He won. Tyler had picked Michik, who we now have dubbed the Cerebrian Duck, or is that Scandinavian Duck? I don't know. Cerebrian Duck, I think is what he said. I was saying the Super Duck, but then had McKenna winning. Tyler had Lee. We both had Ashnault. We both had Knopf. For the first time ever, I picked Chenzo to win something. The Bull beat him, which I was actually happy about because the Bull's my pick for NCAAs. Tyler had Wick. We both had Hall this time around. Kudos to Hall. Love the little recorder thing afterwards. We both had Martin. We both had Nickel. And actually, we both had Gable. And as luck would have it, not luck, you don't want to call it luck, Kazar pulled off the win there, and it was quite amazing, actually. Yeah, I mean, I say amazing, but, we both thought that if Gable wrestled, he, kind of would go undefeated this year. But it just goes to show him, along with Lee and whatnot, everybody is beatable. We talked about whether or not Gable looked like he was necessarily trying 100% or like just kind of conceding, saying, all right, I got this for at NCAAs. But we talked about jokingly saying, hey, I said I like that better than people ducking or people not wrestling. Tyler says, well, if you're not going to go 100%, I'd rather not see you go at all. But I was like, a year ago we were talking about we got somebody willing to break somebody's arm in illegal arm bars at the end of matches, but and he hated DeSanto at the time. But now we're like, hey, if everybody had DeSanto's mindset, fight for every last second of every last match up to the very end, that'd be something else. So anyway, we talked about conferences. We talked about EIAs and the MAC combining, which would be great for wrestling. We had the question of like, hey, Flow does a great job with all the different conferences and everything else, but they don't have all of them. And because when they don't have all of them, do we kind of forget about some of those guys that are in some of those other tournaments because they're not as visible, or they're not as easily accessible? So that was a question we had, which kind of led into our NCAA brackets, which we do have. We filled them both out and whatnot, and I'd mentioned Bresser and gave props to Coach G because he told me he was like, hey, Pac-12 road guys, Bresser, Valencia, and I'm drawing a blank right now. Heavyweight, DeHesse, and I at first I said, hey, I got Valencia winning it, but the other two to make the finals is kind of a bold move. But as luck would have it, when the brackets came out and the way the rankings are, I got Bresser being able to beat Rivera to get into the finals. I think it can happen. So, we both talked about our finals picks, and we had a lot of good discussion there. Unfortunately, after doing it twice, and this just being what it is with this episode, and me kind of tell you things, I'll tell you what our championship picks are, but I can't like recreate it without Tyler. Like the fun that we had talking about it, not once but twice tonight. So, but what we are still going to do is I'm going to record a video of me talking about the brackets, just kind of in depth. Probably won't be tonight. I'm going to put that on our common drive. Let Tyler take a look at it. He'll put his video onto it, get it back to me, and then I'll put all that up into to one video and put out a new podcast on that one for you guys for next week. But basically, and this was off of our sheet that our scientific fancy filing system, kind of going on the picks that we picked at the beginning of the season, or kind of preseason, early on in the season, on who we thought we win NCAA's at that time and who our current picks are now. Currently, or at the time, we had both picked Lee. Right now, I have Piccinini as my new pick. Tyler still has Lee, 133. I had Suriano. I'm actually, I think, switching to Fix. Tyler had Gross. He's now on to Fix. We both still had Yanni D at 141. We're both still that way. I had Ashnault picked at the beginning of the year. Still got Ashnault. Tyler had Kolodzik. He's now on Ashnault. I had Hidley at 157 at the beginning of the year. I guess I'm going to finally turning over to Nolf, although I'm still kind of torn. But Hayden Hidley, great wrestler, and was at the camp for us this past summer, and just really love his mindset on everything. So kind of hard for me not to pick him, but at the same time, dude, how can you not pick Nolf? Devin's got Hidley picked, but anyway, Tyler still has Nolf. I had Marinelli picked. Still going with Marinelli. Tyler had Massa. He's going to go with Marinelli now. We both had Valencia at the beginning of the year, but Tyler has switched his vote up to Hall. We both still have Martin at 184, and we didn't know what Bo Nickel was going to look at 197, and both feel like fools for not having him picked. But I had more. I now have Nickel. Tyler had Cannell, and now has Nickel. Heavyweight, we both actually had Stoll going into the year, if you can believe that. But then we also had the caveat of if Stevenson wrestles, Stevenson wins. But I am even changing that up. I'm going with White to win NCAAs. Tyler is going with Gable. Team points, Tyler went with Penn State. I'm kind of saying Okie State just based off of this. But at the same time, on the other brackets that I feel like that I turn in, I might actually go ahead and pick Penn State just because that's a tiebreaker criteria. Just to kind of play the game with that one a little bit. We also talked about Hodge votes or Hodge trophy winners, and both in agreement, can only be one. No need for a double Hodge, and I'm going to go with, right now, my vote, if I had a counting vote, would be Nickel. Tyler's going with Nolf for that. So that is the quick rundown in roughly 9 minutes. We both recorded, like when we recorded today, it was amazing. We had the first recording like at 55, the second recording a little over 40 minutes. So had a lot of great content. Hate that you guys missed out on that content, but hopefully in the future now, with us hopefully going live when we record, and also with my backup system here now, hopefully we never lose another episode for you guys. Really hate that you guys missed out on that, but I am still super looking forward to just kind of breaking down the brackets one at a time, 125 on up. I might even separate it out into a couple different videos myself, depending on how in depth I go into them, and then we'll throw that over to Tyler, and he will get a chance to make fun of me this year, because last year Tyler went first, and then I just kind of ripped him a new one every which way I could, just more or less just have fun with it. Even though our Michigan man is not a Michigan man this year, so just throwing that out there for you guys. And look forward to doing these next couple episodes. Looking forward to the excitement of what is truly March Madness and what we've got coming soon. So I'm gonna still count this as a regular episode just because we tried doing it 2 times. Third time's a charm, and like I said, through diversity and through having bad things happen, we got some great ideas for some upcoming stuff and how to make things even better for everything that we do. So, alright guys, we'll check it out later on. And again, my apologies for the cat tail in the video right now, but my apologies for the video not working out the first 2 times. But hey, I guess it's part of it, you know. As professional as we tried to be, you know, we are still just 2 guys, 2 coaches, 2 hobbyists getting together doing things, you know, and maybe one day we will have a truly professional setup. But hey, it is what it is. We try to get some good stuff out to you guys. I feel like we try to put out a quality show for you, and even with interruptions and pets and all that other good stuff. So, hey, but if you want to, you know, throw a donation our way or submit to us or whatever, hey, let us know, and maybe we can get some better things, some better mics, some better programming, whatever it is that can make things better for you guys at some point in time. Alright, thanks guys, and we will holler at you real soon.
Bye bye.